So that's we got to remember that. Oh my gosh.
It just ends and then you're there just talking to people.
And now we're just here. Suddenly. That's how it works. It takes forever to launch. This program is going to go in the garbage. But good morning, everybody.
Yeah, the UI on this new streaming thing, I'm just looking at it right now, is freaking like
bananas. Yeah, I know.
It's confusing and it's just like out there. First of all, I don't like that the comments are on the left-hand side for me. I'm just like that destroys my brain.
Yeah, right? This is very much a like I said in the last stream, it's kind of like a mix between StreamYard and OBS Studio, if anybody's familiar with that, which I think the S stands for Studio. So saying OBS Studio is really stupid.
Yeah.
So it has
OBS, more like POS, huh?
Oh, BS. Anyway, we got Grennan John says, I might not be able to make it because I've been waking up pretty late, but can someone please answer my question? My question is, what is the difference between SH Figuarts and Dragon Stars figures? Dragon Stars is super cheap stuff. You got.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked Grennan John.
Scales are all over the place, but you get a lot for your money, and they make pretty much every figure you could possibly want. Tiny Howlett, it's extremely interesting that everyone has an opinion on this. Keeps calling it a threat. What threat? Oh God, we'll get into it. NECA is cooked. The threat is return the extra, or we won't sell it to you again. See, there you go. It's been answered. Let's do it, says Super Mario. Thank you for being here. Always hanging out. Appreciate you. Also, got a video launching at 11 a.m. this morning. So if anybody wants to see that stuff, if you don't like me live, you can watch me pre-recorded. Good morning, Art. Good to see you here. Just a reminder, we have no idea which channel anybody's talking to. So I'm just going to assume they're all on mine. So thank you all for being here. You got 59 people and 100% of you are on my channel.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's no way to know. And the super chats, we definitely won't know. Yeah, so a lot of people here. Good to see you. Oh, if y'all aren't following Abasai, if you don't know, he is the creator behind the billboards, the store fronts that I made for the NECA street scene. He did the 3D sculpting and printing of printed that part. And he just launched his doors, which I'm sure most of you have seen already for the street scene. They actually open. So he's shipping those things out soon. Looks like he's pretty much got all his orders finished.
Yeah.
So follow this guy on Instagram for sure.
I mean, I don't know about follow him because I bought a bunch of doors from him and I was expecting like a personal message, like, like, hey man, thank you. Like a whole paragraph of like, you changed my life. And I got none of that. So I don't know that I can co-sign.
Well, just wait until the shipped item is in there. It might be a handwritten letter.
No, I mean, I was pretty hurt. I expected something that first 24 hours. So.
Well, even more reason to follow Abasai is that he's a person that can hurt Mad Hatter, which is rare. I've tried a lot, and it's just he has no heart, so it's hard to hurt. Snagged one of those Abasai doors. They look awesome. They do. They look even better in person, folks. Oh, Darkest Night. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Where to get the Kong Studio accessory path? I don't know.
Oh, the Darkest Night.
I don't. AliExpress. I mean, I don't know which kit you're talking about either. Some of these things, once they're gone, they're gone. You got to buy them used, like eBay or something. But good morning, everybody. Did we say that?
I think we did. Were you able to get the Black Mondo Spidey? Yes, Devin Decker. Yeah, I can't click on your thing because this thing sucks. But I did. Good news, everybody. I got the Mondo Black Suit Spidey. You can all drop the chat now. You know what I mean? Everybody, that's what everybody was waiting to hear. And there's
you could have at least buried the lead a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you get on AmiAmi, and I'm sure other websites like HobbyLink Japan, Mayfex has the comic Venom available. And if you do AmiAmi, it's like $55 US. So I would highly recommend that if you're a Venom fan.
Is that like Venom, like if he was like doing stand-up?
So we're gonna get back into the chat.
No, guys. Nothing.
Did I hurt you? No.
No, nothing.
Ah, damn. Matt Hatter, last week your shelf looked emptier than my pantry at home, but now it's full. Yeah, what did happen? I know you got a couple big turtles that showed up, but now you like really put the work in, huh?
This whole thing's a mess, dude. It's not organized. I mainly use this room at this point right now for just kind of like making videos on the side over there. But I don't have like a perfect setup yet. It's gonna take some time. You know what I mean? But yes, the shelves, they fill up and they go away. This is gonna be kind of like a rotating. It's like a rotating door. It's like a bakery. Different cakes inside the glass that you can look at, and yeah. Controversial toys with the $5 that I can't highlight. Good morning.
I don't understand because you should have access. Maybe it's the way you
doesn't give me anything. I mean, I click with this finger. Good morning for everyone who gets the Casey Dirt Bike 2-pack. It doesn't come with his golf bag, and the handlebars are very brittle. First of all, thank you for the $5, sir. I did get that 2-pack. I have not opened it yet, and now he blew up my spot. Now I was expecting a golf bag. How can it not come with a golf bag, John? That's a whole other thing. I can't even. I don't even want to get into this, okay? Because there's other stuff to talk about other than golf bags. But the fact that doesn't come with a golf bag is fucking with my OCD right now. So we just gotta move on.
Yeah, it's like it's one thing to release these packs and change up the accessories, and it's amazing how open people were to the what if. They're like, oh, what if they made Bebop and Rocksteady like as if they were in the 90s movies? Those would be cool. And the April arcade, everybody's like into the what if. But as soon as they just gave Casey Jones a bike for fun, people were like, oh, it's not in the movie.
Yeah, but that's a sucky what if.
I guess. I mean, the motorcycle can be used for a lot of things, but I guess not if it's brittle.
I could put anything in there by those rules.
Plus, the nice thing about this is the people that were unable to get John Connor San Diego Comic-Con exclusive years ago that came with the bike. Now you can have your regular John Connor that was released with Sarah, and then now you got your set. And it makes the exclusive set not so special.
John, who got to you?
Who got to me?
Who got to you that you are thinking that
Trevor
Jones on a bike is worth?
Trevor. He no, I'm just kidding. It wasn't Trevor. Gary Dolan. I just got a little bit of I got the Dolan disease where NECA does no wrong.
That's true. By the way, has Gary Dolan weighed in on the newest NECA controversy? Has he?
On Facebook anyway.
Okay, what's his take?
Because I replied, his comment was, it's not that people are always having problems. It's just that the people that have those issues are the loudest. But I'm like, but there's a lot of people that are loud, I guess. Like,
I guess there's a lot of loud people, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't change. It can be both things, right? There can be both people that don't have issues with NECA. Stuff arrives, they have no problems, and then there can be like a lot of us where it maybe is something as simple as they don't reply to emails at all, or you just don't know if you're ever going to get your product. Sometimes you get a tracking thing, and then that never changes, and magically there's an item on your porch, or maybe somebody else's porch. A guy locally ordered the Donatello Lab, still never got NECA to resolve that problem. The other issue is that these stores like NECA and Mercari seem to forget that the receiver of items is incredibly limited on what they can do to file a claim for a missing item.
Yeah.
It's generally on the shipper, and then that if there's a insurance refund, it goes to the shipper. So like the buyer is just like SOL. Anyway.
Yeah. There's this is a strange issue. Because, so if you don't know, let's just do some catches. We got some. I know the chat seems like it's flying on my end, John. I don't know if it is, but
it is somehow.
If you don't know, the sum up is some people 2 months ago, I don't know, got a free Donatello lab or an extra one maybe that they ordered or something. And this was 2 months ago. And then NECA recently sent out emails saying, hey, we know you, the person we're emailing, got a free lab. We're going to need that back. We need to send it back. Okay. And I think maybe they send a label or something like that. And if you don't send it back, we're going to ban you from our store from buying anything from our store. Something to that effect, which is essentially.
I have it pulled up here. I was waiting for the perfect segue, which seems like we're not doing this week.
Oh, do you want to go back, John? Do you want to do a retake?
Yes. So since you were talking, I'll let you go.
What's
yeah, a lot of people. The chat is flying. There's a lot of people. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Speaking of flying, okay. Speaking of like chat is flying. You know, it's like it's crazy when they ship things out. They fly them out to different places, like a lab, like that. You know, like you would ship that. That's not a good segue either. I fucked it up. Let's third take.
The chat's blowing up just like the comment section of this post over on the Party Wagon.
The segue was okay.
I saved you. It's okay. It's not. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's in comparison. I'm a master. But just most of you probably seen this, so I'll leave it up on the screen for a bit. You can kind of read through, but the gist of it is really coming down to like, hey, we had a lot of issues with shipping Donatello's lab. A bunch of people got a duplicate or a free one, and supposedly this email is only going to the people that got the duplicate. And then if you read through the comments and other posts, there are a lot of people that got the duplicate lab that never got the email, and then there's people that got the email that never got a duplicate lab. So that's really cool. It doesn't help their case here, but really nice thing here is like it's a simple setup. If you return it, we'll give you a label. Obviously we'll pay for shipping, no problem. And since you're gonna take it to a UPS, we will pay you $100 of store credit on your next TMNT purchase. So that does, knowing NECA, that might limit to like literally only TMNT items in the future. Maybe it's $100 off the next layer, or maybe it's just $100 gift card and they're just trying to stay on brand. The problem people are having, because this is really nice. It's like, hey, $100 for me to return the thing, because some people already did. Some people were like, hey, NECA, you sent me one. And I know I got a lot of friends that never got theirs.
Right.
So I want to make sure that they get theirs. And then they shipped them back. Those people probably didn't get $100. Maybe they did. It'd be wild for them to not like retroactively solve this. Now, a problem with somebody not being able to get this $100 gift card, if you were an early return person, is that NECA doesn't read your emails. So
yeah, I'm positive that the people that did the right thing, maybe, or let's not call it the right thing, did the nice thing and returned it immediately to NECA. They are SOL for this $100. I'm positive, and good luck chasing them to give you the $100. I'm even dubious that if you do follow these rules and send them the thing back, that they immediately respond and go, hey, we got your thing. Here's your $100. I think you're going to chase them for that $100 as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think once you get there'll be like, once we receive the item, we'll initiate the $100 gift card, but you'll have put that thing in the mail, which tracking should be enough for them. You know, like when you return something to Amazon, it's like, hey, we saw you drop the package off. Here's your refund. But the problem that people are having, this is what people are considering the threat, by the way, for somebody that isn't aware of this. So the failure, I don't want to highlight because it like you can't read the text when I highlight. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, no highlight.
Not a good highlighter. Although it is an image and it's just my Mac trying to highlight text from an image. That's actually pretty cool. Anyway, failure to return the diorama may result in limited opportunities to buy future products from the NECA store. So this is like, hey, the way a lot of people are reading this, right, is we messed up. We've been having a lot of issues, and I'm sure you all are aware of it. And I'm sure some of you reading this right now still don't have your original sketch turtles, Jonathan, aka Nostalgia Unboxed, who was...
You still don't have it.
Still don't have them. I was there in day one within the first 2 minutes. So you might have issues with us, but look, we're trying to make right with these labs. They didn't state that we got a bunch of people. We don't have enough labs to resolve the orders. We only had like 2,400 of these things made. But, we'll pay you to return it. But if you don't return it, we will limit your opportunities to buy from us, okay? It's our mistake. Yeah. Are you legally responsible for sending this thing back? Absolutely not. Is there any guarantee that we sent you a duplicate? No. So how do we know if you don't return it? Also, it could have been on a wrong address. Could be on somebody else's porch. We have no way of knowing that you actually got a secondary one. But we will stop you from being able to buy more products from us, person that is loyal enough to buy stuff from us.
Okay, can I love these that you mentioned that about the porch and all that. Can we just like land on that for a second?
Oh yeah.
I know a few people, well, two, that got a free lab and it just showed up. It just showed up on their doorstep. No tracking, no nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
That also means that it could have just as easily not shown up. Sometimes one of the guys that I know, I'm not going to blow up his spot, but he's somebody that travels a lot. Okay. He would have never known that he got a lab, but his neighbor, was like, hey, because you use tracking to be like something arrived. Okay. So it's dubious to even expect that maybe people got it unless you can email them or let them know. The other thing, I got a DM from somebody who was just like, "Hey, Hatter, I know you're talking about this thing with Jonathan or whatever in a few days or tomorrow. I got one of those emails, and I never got a free lab. Now, I don't know this person, but he could be lying. I don't know, but I could see them also sending emails to people that didn't get a free lab and just like, hey, you're on some list or something. If they're stupid enough, sorry, but if they're stupid enough to send God knows how many labs to people, you don't think that they might send emails to people too that may not have gone I just don't trust any of this process. Also, how many labs do you guys think we're talking about? Like how deep does this fuck up go? Like how many? Like is it worth doing this with these bad optics and this bad PR? And before anybody answers that question, there's one more thing too. This isn't about the morally right thing, because the problem is there's a gray area, because this is a company that has not treated you well. There's not treated many people well. So this isn't like I had mentioned on another video. I was like, if Mondo did this, I'd send it back. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, $100. Because dude, this company has always sent me replacements when something goes wrong. They're always right on there. I even said that about Super 7. I know some people have other experiences, but my experiences were always good. But it's like these guys, it's like so two things can be right. It's like, you're seeing imagine like you're in school and the guy who bullies you every day is getting his ass kicked, and you go, let him get his ass kicked, and you walk off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Is it the morally right thing to stop him? Whatever. Sure. Okay. But you're also, I might be like, yeah, you know what? I might save his ass, but I'm going to wait a minute. I'm going to let them get a few punches in, and then I'll go save him. And that's how a lot of people feel. John hasn't gotten his turtles yet. A lot of people are still waiting for shit. I have replacements that have never gone fulfilled. So they just kind of like, just whatever, because it's just ignored emails. So what do you want? You want people to have sympathy? You want people to be like, oh man, so it's just you have to take all of that into account.
Right. And this is NECA as a business. This isn't NECA as the sculptors, the painters, like the team, the illustrators, those people that like we know and love and like want to support and like buy the things or like show off the things because we love the people behind those items. This is bad for them, because now they're just in the mix of dealing with all this bullshit. So it's like the bullies' friends who are actually good people, but because their parents go to the same whatever, they're forced to be friends with the bully. I don't know what I'm saying.
Right.
Let's get we got a couple super chats. No idea who they went to. Hatter, is it too late to make a parody song for this?
John, let's think. Let's take 1 minute since Eric generously donated $2. Thank you to one of us. What? First thought theater. Let's give it 2 minutes. What would a parody song for this be?
Okay, it's $1 a minute for thoughts. We need to. What's a hot song?
Huh?
Do you know "Hot to Go" by Chappell Roan?
How does it go? I don't know.
Okay, well, never mind.
No idea. You gotta pick a popular song, John.
Yeah, super popular.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. How about let's go classic? Let's just gonna go. It's kind of on brand. Hall & Oates. What's a good Hall & Oates?
Ooh, what's a good Hall & Oates song?
Maneater. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boys. She'll chew you up. Something like that.
Where does it swing into? Where does it swing into this subject?
Well, it's just about changing the lyrics, isn't it?
Right, but like how
whoa, here you go. A free Donatella lap. Watch out, boys. You can't shop here. I don't know.
Oh no, I got one. I got one. The Jackson 5, I Want You Back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're better at this.
When we sent you that free lab, we thought that it was for you or something. And then he goes something and or whatever, and he goes, I want you back. And then you're like, fuck you, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a shift in the song where it becomes like
it's like a November Rain, how at the end just turns into like just anarchy.
Joey Halom.
Well, right? Johnny, this might be for you because he's saying
I know.
You're saying your name.
So no idea where this money went. Obviously, thank you either way. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Controversial Toys. Thank you, Joey, to sending money to either of us and liking either of us enough to spend money on us for this. This is what you spent money on.
Right.
Hey, Jonathan, I want you to say to NECA for all of us. I don't know that I want to say that or how I would say that.
He's basically, I mean, we can curse here. This is Hebrew, and Lechtis Dayen is go fuck yourself, and tell tachat shel ima shecha and your mom's ass.
Whoa!
It's, I'm just giving you some.
It's a little dirty, even for me, even on this channel.
But that's good. That I mean, he knows Hebrew.
Well, I believe it based on that and what you just did.
But thank you for one of us, right?
Yeah, or from both of us.
Or both of us, yes.
Damn it. This is way harder now.
Baby, come back. I like this one. Baby, come back. But that would be from NECA's perspective, talking about the labs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, NECA wants the lab back, and that's why there's a tonal shift at the end. Robot Reviews says $5. Good morning, fellas. I think it's time for another Adventures of Johnny episode where he emails NECA's customer service department. Adventures of Johnny.
That's
me.
That's me. Yeah. What would be the premise? I might do that. That could be fun, John.
Yeah.
What could I do? What the premise would be?
Hey guys, I know we have a lot of labs that got shipped to the wrong place. Yeah, we know that, Johnny. That's what this meeting's about. Well, hey guys, I just want you to know I have a great idea.
Yeah, that's the premise. It's like he comes in with his dumb, half-baked idea.
Well, you know that we have no way of tracking whether somebody actually got it. Yes, that's part of the problem. That's why some people go, well, let me just say we should give people $100 if they return it. Well, how do we know who to offer that $100 to? That's the fun part. And even better, oh God, here it comes. Even better is we threaten them in the end.
John, I got to do this now.
Yeah,
I have to take your script because that's actually that's the perfect way in.
Yeah, it's funny is I think I kind of got the premise of how they work. stock image. Long hair on my own face, stock image.
Oh yeah, I mean let's face it, there's not a lot of production value. The only question is if you notice, I'm a little Kubrickian in the way I kind of put little things in there when I make those.
That's what they say about you. That's usually the comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what kind of facial hair, because I've been subtly changing every Johnny's facial hair just a little bit. So I'm trying to think what facial hair this new Johnny would have.
Well, you could take any visual cues from some people behind NECA.
I may have done handlebar mustache and whatever. I assume it's just a bunch of guys with handlebar mustaches.
Yeah. Based on the images we have from the internet that we know for sure. Oh boy. Anyway, look. This is good. This is good times for the brand. NECA is a new peak. It's a highlight of their brand. It was this moment in time where they told people that they would be punished for not returning an item, which the fun thing is too, is like reading on Facebook, the people that are like looking into the FTC, whatever, Federal Trade Commission. Is that right? Looking behind the legality of all of this, and there are like some screenshots talking about like a company isn't even allowed to send you free items without your consent. Like that is illegal to use to use the postal service to ship items without your consent, whether it is a gift or not.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, which does make sense, because if you imagine, technically you have to pay taxes on things. So Oprah gives away a bunch of cars, so you get a free car. Cool. Now I owe like X number of dollars in taxes on this car. Like I have to do that. Same thing with the lottery, I guess. Like, right? You so much of it goes to taxes, whatever. And that counts for everything. Counts for YouTubers getting free items. Technically, you're supposed to claim all that stuff and pay the taxes on those free items. And that would be the case for these NECA labs. So we send you $300. You are responsible now for this free item that we didn't tell you were going to get.
Right.
Even though it's an accident, and whether it's intentional or not. So this is 100% on NECA. And the fact that they're now into kind of technically into some legal territory with the government, I guess, if somebody wanted to go that route. On top of that, to have some kind of comment saying like, well, we'll punish you for our mistake kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it's so funny. Like one sentiment, I think, changes the whole tone of things, because and again, it's not like even if they didn't say that, you would look back at years of like you struggling to get, like paying good money for whatever. My thing, and I wish I knew the numbers. I would love to know how many of these fuck ups there were. Like, what amount is it worth to do this, to go this route? Like, right. I mean, it's
that email would have been fine if they just left off that last sentence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
It's so stupid.
It's like run that through ChatGPT, and then when it goes, this is good, you may want to change the verbiage here, and legally speaking, you probably can't do this, but there's a tonal shift with this sentence, and it may come off as threatening to some people. Or not.
Right. There is like people don't like to be threatened, especially from a company that it's not where it's not been smooth sailing to begin with. Okay. I think the forums are a little bit of a shit show, because everyone is thinking one way is the morally superior way and one way is not. I will say this. Okay. It's you have to, in this situation, it's a little bit gray. You have to consider the source. Okay. If John, sent me, or if somebody from this chat sent me something, okay, let's talk about, sometimes people send me stuff. Okay. And sometimes people send you stuff too, John. Okay. Yeah. And like, if somebody sent me something and they go, Hatter, I sent you this one toy I wanted you to review, but inside it, I put, I don't know, I put something else that was very expensive to me. I'm going to send it back, of course. You know what I mean? Like, and that goes for companies too. Okay. But when you're dealing with a company that has frustrated you, and essentially by not giving you replacements, taken your money and not responded, and basically saying, hey, thanks for supporting us, now go fuck yourself, then you cannot, I'm sorry, people on the forums, you cannot just expect people to be like, well, you know what, it's okay, I'm going to I'm going to do the right thing. What's the right thing here? Is karma not a thing? If I treat it, I have this Flipboard thing. If I treat people like shit through my campaign and I clearly don't really give a fuck, okay, do I not have it come in a little bit when I make a mistake? So it's just like, this is a very ambiguous, this is almost like, and please don't take this in a way where this is to be opened up. This is almost political in the sense of it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area here. And so I don't think the thing to do is to use your energy to start casting judgments on people saying, if you do this, because I've seen both ways. I've seen, if you don't send it, you're morally bankrupt. Well, if you do send it, you're a cuck for the company. And I've seen both those things.
Yeah. And I think somewhere in between in this scenario with this company is the right place to be. Like, balance it out. Like, even if you do send it back, like, well, here, let me just add this on. If I were to have had one, I wouldn't have told any of you because I want to keep it and have two. I want a garage. No, I would have sent it back because I worry about the people that paid for one when I paid for one and still haven't gotten it. There's a limit to these items, and it's not easy to just go produce more.
Right.
So I don't know what that scenario looks like for them. I know with businesses, you need a minimum order quantity. What does that look like for NECA? I don't know. There are only like less than 3,000 of these things made, I believe. Now, there are so many people that still don't have it. There are people like me that have bought other items, which is why I would return it, right? I want that person to get it. There are a lot of people like me that have bought items that should have arrived already. Emailed and they said, oh, sorry, we'll get that out to you. And then that was the beginning of October. I still don't have those things. Now they don't reply to emails. They don't reply to the existing thread. They don't reply to new emails.
Right.
So they have just silenced themselves completely about this issue with me. And I assume anybody that is in this boat of missing items.
Right.
Imagine being that person and then they're like, oops, we sent you anything extra. Doesn't have to be the lab. Let's just take the limited quantity of labs out of the equation and say, whoops, we sent you a Lawson 4-pack. Well, that has a limit too. Whatever. We sent you some extra figures. Question mark on that. I wouldn't send those back. And there would be like, if they sent an email to me and said, oh, hey, we accidentally sent you some other stuff. Please return that. I would be like, absolutely not. I wouldn't even reply to the email. I'd be like, here's a little taste of your own medicine. Or if I reply to the email, it'd be like, hey, guys, mistakes happen. I get it. I've sent things to the wrong people. I will ship them back as soon as you ship my products that I paid for 4 months ago. I'm happy to do it.
That's another thing.
Even if it's something I want or don't want that's in this box you sent me, I will send it back as soon as you give me the items or refund it. I'm at this point, I've already requested them, like, please refund it and cancel it. I don't want it anymore.
Right.
And then people on Facebook are like, hey, I know you don't have it, but I have a set and I'll sell it to you. It's like, no. I mean, thank you for being that kind, but NECA's pissed me off so much about it that I don't want them at all. And I definitely don't want to pay twice for them.
Right.
So I've opened a dispute trying to get that issue resolved. But the problem is, like, with my bank, there was like a day limit to dispute it through the bank. And because NECA was taking so long and then they promised September and promised all this stuff, I'm outside of that window to claim it through my bank. So now it's like I have to try to go other routes through. I think I tried to go through Shopify and created like a thing. And they're like, well, we'll contact the business and see what they hear from them. So I'm like, great. Anyway, so yeah, I am on the boat of
I love what you just said. And I echo that sentiment is, if they're going to play this game, hold their feet to the fire. You know what I mean? Like you want, you want the lab? Give me what I paid for. Give me, give me something. It's like people waiting. I still know people waiting for the Mirage Turtles. The Mirage Turtles, the 4-pack. That's yesterday's news.
Yeah.
Like years ago. and they're still waiting for that. So, I think I cast no judgment on you if you tell NECA, oh, you want something, you want it, and I'm not going to give it to you in a rush. Now, there is the question of people that did not get their labs. Now, I will say this, that is on NECA all the way, okay? It's also a little weird because there might have been people that even opened that lab. I don't know. I feel like if I got an extra lab, to be honest, John, like I'd probably open it. I'd probably open it and display it. So now what does that mean? So now I got to put that thing back, and then some poor sucker that paid $300 gets my open lab. I mean, it's a $300 item. So, I surely there must be a way to. Here's what I don't buy. You can't make more. You can't, like, you're talking about four walls. You can't, like, it's on you. Take the hit, I think. And again, I don't know, because there's two ways to look at this.
All right, hold your two ways. Please don't forget them. I just have to, because these are.
No, I already forgot. But yes, please, let's go to the chat. I'm sure there's a lot of people.
Eric, thanks for the $2. NECA banning online buys, saving on shipping already. NECA banning online buys. NECA banning online buys saves on shipping. I don't know. If they ban you, you save money on shipping. Is the way I'm going. Adam, thank you to whoever got this. $2. Brandy and Monica. That boy is mine. Threatening tone. I don't recall that song, but maybe that'll be the cover. I'll be Brandy.
It's a good one.
You be Monica. Toka Dat Razar gifted 5 Mad Hatter reviews. Now, again, we don't know which channel this was.
I'm gonna assume it's for your channel, John. But
yeah, but they're Mad Hatter memberships on my channel, which is
crazy.
Yeah.
But I see you, Toka.Razar, and thank you. And thank you for blessing 5 people.
Okay. Laser Pants says, I opened my extra lab and put it in my butt. You sure want that back, NECA? Well, that we've discussed it many times on this channel. Gary Dolan, very close with NECA, we know that. He puts figures in his butt, and we don't judge him for that. So we wouldn't judge you. We can't speak for NECA.
No, I would judge him. First of all, thanks for the $9.99, buddy, but I got to judge you. Can I do it in his voice?
Yeah.
I opened my extra lab, put it in my butt. Let me press a thing that makes a sound. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, I have a podcast. Beep boop, beep boop. Oh, here's another sound effect. Wow, wow. You sure you want that back, NECA? That was my laser pen.
That's pretty good, but this was kind of like when he does his impression of you.
Yeah, it does impression. Yeah. But I use the fingers.
Which isn't right, by the
way.
But
I use the fingers to press the buttons.
Pinky has to be
like emotional damage. I'm gonna use that for every 5 minutes.
Emotional damage. Yeah, we all know that sound. I think Jay uses it too. I sent this super chat by accident. Please send it back immediately. This is a threat.
That's a good one.
Wow. Well, thank you to whoever you sent that to, the $5. I'm going to assume it's me because you don't like Mad Hatter. Thank you.
That's true.
For the $5. And we all know.
But he's the NECA king. How can he not like me?
Yeah. He's got profit in his name, by the way. You know that? John Papa Sergio sends $5 and says the only way for NECA to make this right is to make a short circuit 525.
Yeah, I think that tracks.
Yeah, which also has a turn in the sequel where he gets a little evil, makes threats.
Ooh, yes, that's right.
But just to the bad guys. The first one, I guess you could say.
Well, no, he starts off.
They go evil in the first one.
No, he starts off evil because he's a war machine.
Right.
And then he becomes nice guy Johnny.
Yeah.
But then in the second one, he joins a gang. He joins.
Yes.
Was it Los Locos?
Los Locos, yes.
Los Locos kick your balls in outer space.
That's right. Oh my god! And then of course, famously white guy playing
Playing an Indian guy.
Yeah.
Were there no Indian actors that you could have gotten in the 80s? What the
Oh,
fuck?
God. Yeah, it's just like just for makeup and hair and stuff. It's like, can't we just get a guy that looks that way?
Okay, dude, even in the 80s, okay, the 80s are not that far removed. In the
No.
80s, they thought it was a good idea to hire a white guy to play an
Yes.
Indian guy, and every day they put him in a makeup chair,
Right.
and they browned up his skin and probably blackened his hair, and he had to in the makeup chair practice reading his lines in an Indian
Yeah.
accent. That happened in our lifetime, John.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then somebody, director maybe, or coach, was like, I don't know. That's not really racist enough,
Yeah.
Like he was like, we danced, we talked, and he's like, no, 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 go harder. This really sticks out in my mind because as a kid, it like there was one of those lines that stuck in my head that we danced, we talked.
We talking, yeah, that's right. That's right. I know that. I know the scene. They're
Yeah.
walking. They're walking down the pier, and he's talking about falling in love with
Yeah.
the girl.
Fuck. And I think that's different. It's still not great that we had The Simpsons and what's his name? The actor?
The Apu.
Yeah, the actor though.
But okay, Hank Azaria. But
Hank
hold on.
Azaria. Yeah. It is a cartoon, and we have even today that stuff is happening. Like people playing different types, and like voice acting is just voice acting. He didn't sit in a chair for hours.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cartoon is fair game. Samurai Jack is played by Phil Lamar, and I love his take. You know what I mean? It goes both ways, baby. I think animation is fair game, but they put this guy in a chair for Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2, and they browned up his face and they dyed his hair black. And they said you got to walk down the pier and say we talk it, we dance it, and a white guy basically had to do it. By the way, Los Locos is probably played by like 4 German kids. You know what I mean? Like those guys probably weren't even Spanish. Los Locos. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably like, dude, I'm from,
that's like,
I'm from Sweden.
But if you're like, what, ambiguous, like we don't know what you are, like you get Oscar Isaac and he plays everything and it's okay, apparently.
Oscar Isaac is one of those actors who is such a questionable kind of ethnicity. I don't know what is he. I have no idea what he is, but like he just plugs into like so many different roles.
Right. Oh God.
Man, Fisher Stevens, I forgot about that thing.
Yeah.
You know he was married to Michelle Pfeiffer? That dude was married to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know that? Like in her heyday. Like Catwoman Michelle, I think, like around there.
Wow. Maybe that's what did it for him.
Yeah, maybe she was watching Short Circuit 2 and she saw that she danced, and then like she was like, you know what, this is I have to make this guy my husband.
Yes, this does sound familiar. Wait, no, is that Pedro Pascal that we're talking about?
I think he's talking about Oscar Isaac.
Because Oscar Isaac also played an Egyptian, right? And
you know what, dude? My family are all Arabs. I would buy that dude is Arab. You know what I mean? Like he's like that's what I'm saying. Oscar Isaac is just like he just like fits like a lot of different like things.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac from Guatemala. You racist.
Yes, he was in the Mario movie.
Wait.
Plays one of the goons.
Who was in the Mario movie?
The guy, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I always thought it was the same guy. The guy from Short Circuit is one of the goons in the Mario movie, the live action.
The Fisher Stevens, the guy we were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or it's just an actor that looks the same. That came around the same time. And our child brains merged them together. That definitely happens.
John, I think you and I need to do like a little documentary about Short Circuit because I'm just dying to know whose idea was it? Did Fisher Stevens come in and he's like, I'll play the role, but here's my one caveat. I got to be Indian. Or is it like the director is like, hey, I love what you're doing. Here's the thing. You got to be Indian. Like somebody had to make that choice. Who was it? I got to know.
Yeah. There's a play right now that is called Yellowface. and I got to see it locally here when it was like in its early days. A lot of like famous people behind this thing, starring, writing. I think they even talked about it. One of the guys was on one of the late night talk shows, Jimmy Fallon or something. But Yellowface is a play that it talks about the things that kind of happened after like Miss Saigon and everything, and how they would cast white actors for Asian roles, and it's all this behind the scenes stuff. It's so beautifully well done. It's hilarious in the right parts, and it's all about this moment where like this Asian man is mad about a white guy playing an Asian guy in theater and in movies. So they're on this huge push to make sure that they cast Asian people to tell the story of how these plays went into circuit, or whatever, the movies and all that stuff. So we're trying to do like a here's behind the scenes what happened. We're going to hire this guy, and the guy they hire, they keep thinking is Asian, but he's really not. He just looks Asian.
Okay.
And then it gets so deep that they're like, now they have to publicly pretend that he's Asian and tell him like, look, you got to pretend you're Asian.
That's
And it's
funny.
Yeah, it's all like kind
of that's a funny way to kind of create like sort of like a race comedy,
yes.
Because it's kind of it's aware of itself.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's like we couldn't tell, but your mom is from where? And they're like trying to like get him to say these certain things, and
yes.
Oh, so good.
All right, Jack's comment. Fisher Stephen is European white. I'm pretty sure he is Jewish, so that makes it okay, right? No, can confirm it's not okay. All right, I don't think he should be playing in Indian. But you know, that movie's from the 80s. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Also, in this, like, I think if white people can play white people, would you consider Italians white people, right?
Isn't Chris Pratt Italian?
I don't know. But I doubt the guy that voiced Mario.
Oh, because he voiced Mario.
Right. But I doubt that.
I think
I doubt the guy, what's his name, that voices Mario in the games and stuff is probably also not Italian.
But I still contend that I think I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think with voiceovers it's got to be a little different. I just think it's like it's or I don't know, is that an antiquated way to look at it? I or am I just, is nostalgia ruling me, John? See, because you know all about nostalgia.
I only am named that. I'm Johnny New Toy, so I'm all of the new things. Are Italians white? I have to Google this. Oh boy, largely accepted as white by the widest variety of people and institutions throughout the U.S.
I wouldn't consider like an Italian like a white guy. I don't know.
Italians are definitely considered white.
Hold on. Do we want to go down this
middle
whole
ground in the racial order?
Like be a powder keg.
So through the 1920s, they were middle ground in the racial order. So, you know, if you're not like a true white guy, like if you're not whatever back in the 1920s that they felt were white, you were Italian, you were kind of like scummy, I guess.
Look, Thomas Goes Nostalgic is Italian. He says we weren't always considered white. You just said it right there.
Right, 1920s, you weren't. But now, what now? Tell me.
John, have you watched The Penguin?
I fucking love it. Despite IGN's rating of a 5, it's definitely better.
How the fuck? You know what? I just saw that. How the IGN? You gave The Penguin a 5? You fucking idiots!
Yeah,
that is the best written superhero show, whatever you want to call it. In like recent times, somebody was like, "Oh, this is the same thing as like fucking Gotham." No, it's not. It's a lot better, man. Dude, all the characters. Yeah, Sophia Falcone. How cool is she, man?
It's Gigante now. Huh? It's Sophia Gigante now.
I'm Sophia Gigante. Sophia Gigante.
Yeah. So the question is, would you be the psychiatrist in that scenario? You'd be like, I'm willing to be treated like doo-doo.
That guy, that guy's in love with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Sophia, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to fucking do, Jonathan? What do you want?
I was being the other guy. Which also,
that would be a
spoiler,
great angle.
Wow, what a spoiler last episode. Don't wanna ruin it. So
Don't
good.
you spoil that fucking last episode, Jonathan. Don't you fucking do it.
Yeah, he's always
I fucking took you under my wing, Johnny Nostalgia. You were fucking nothing last year. 2023. Nobody knows who you fucking are.
no.
Then you come out with this fucking Dragon Ball shit. You think you're hot shit? You think you're hot fucking shit, Jonathan?
That's pretty good. I'm proud of you. And scene, he said. And scene. Do I get the job? That was a monologue from the Penguin on Max. It's the best thing that DC's got going for it. And because it had nothing to do with Batman or heroes, it was just a crime boss kind of thing. It was so good.
You know what was so good too? Yes, I agree.
Why Andor's good too, because we don't show you all the Star Wars-y stuff. We just exist in the universe.
Dude, it was also great because it's like it's like a Scarface story. It's like a rags to riches, like, like I'm at the bottom of the crime world. It's like GTA. The reason why everybody loves those games is you start at the bottom of like the crime world. It's like, how do I build my empire? Very simple narrative. By the way, I liked it more. I didn't really love that Batman movie, the one with the Riddler, like the one that he made his first appearance at. I loved this series a lot more than I liked that movie. I was like, I just did not connect to that Batman movie.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking connect. What do you want me to say?
Yeah. Ma. Oh God, yeah. It's just he is going to be in the next Batman movie, but that doesn't come out until 2026, which is unfortunate.
Oh, they're doing another one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's so far away, but now I'm excited to see more Penguin and Sofia Gigante, who's going to be in it.
Dude, have you ever seen a movie called Palm Springs?
Yes, she's in it with Andy Samberg.
Dude, that's such a fucking fun movie.
Yes, I love anything that is like that, like a Groundhog's Day thing, a time travel thing. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, you know what I actually saw yesterday that you should watch if you hadn't seen it before is Transformers 1. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. It's a worth watching if you're a Transformers fan or not. It has a good story and it actually works. And it's like, okay, well, that's just like years and years of Michael Bay movies that are like, oh God. And then the animation comes out and it's like years and years of Sony duking on all your favorite Marvel stuff. And then an animation comes out and you're like, oh, well, Sony should only do this.
Right. But I don't think it did well. Unfortunately, like I don't. Yeah, I guess that's why I wrote it off because like I didn't see anything about it.
Yeah, well, like what's his name? He's a Transformer reviewer, Jobby the Hun or something like that. But he had a breakdown review of it, and it's basically like the marketing made it look like a movie for kids, and it's not. I mean, kids will enjoy it, but it's well written in a way that like adults will really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's well written. Like there are some holes, there are some issues I had, but like it's pretty damn well done. And I read a thing, by the way. So like the CEO, this is like another topic, but like the CEO of Hasbro, what's his name? Cox
Jim
in his mouth
Hasbro
or whatever, Coxman, said that he wants to not. I don't think Hasbro wants to fund films anymore. I think that movie's like box office, either we call it failure or middling returns. Basically, I think he wants to get Hasbro out of the film business.
Well, you know what? That guy's made a lot of great choices anyway. You know, like seasonal layoffs. Annual seasonal layoffs. You work at Hasbro. Holidays are coming up. You're expecting a bonus. Well, the bonus is you don't work here no more.
Yeah, that's your fucking bonus.
Yeah, congratulations to Hasbro on all of their success. I think they're going to be. I don't know. I mean, it might take a few years longer, but we could be seeing the kind of decline of Hasbro in the industry for a lot of different reasons. Oh, thumbs up. See, we approve.
Whoa, what the hell? Oh my God, that's magic.
Much like in the 80s when they started having problems with GI Joes and they were like losing, they were like really failing hard, and they kept trying to make comebacks with GI Joes. I don't know enough. I'm pretty sure Dan Larson.
Well,
Galaxy.
Well, dude, at one point Marvel was in the toilet. Do you know that at one point, like Sony could have bought Marvel for like, somebody in the chat will know, but it was like 25 million. It was like something stupid, and they're like, we just want Spider-Man.
Yeah,
just give us Spider-Man. We don't give a fuck about any that. I please name who that was, Sony. Like that dude should be always harassed for the rest of his life. Like even if he goes out to coffee, like he sneaks out of his house. I just got to get a coffee, and then just got to be alarms. Like, hey, this is the guy who didn't want to buy Marvel for
right. But we, from experience, Sony can only handle Spider-Man mostly. So why would we history went the right way by them not buying the rest of Marvel, because we
it's great. You're right. You are correct. It's great that they did not, but like the fact that they didn't know that, they were just like, this is a problem with like a lot of executives. They have zero imagination, and they're in an imagination business.
Right.
That's the problem. is that there's like, how can you be in the imagination business and you don't have an imagination? Say what you want about Walt Disney. I know there's a whole political past with him, blah, blah, blah. But at least he had like an imagination, and he's like, I have a vision and I want to execute this vision. And, there's like, you need somebody like that at the helm, not like Mr. fucking Hasbro guy who sees a failure and he's like, and by the way, Hasbro probably will resurrect itself in some way, because this guy's temporary. These guys, they're stewards, and then they leave and the next guy comes in.
Yes. And Walt Disney calls their people Imagineers, right?
Yes, they call Imagineers. We are Imagineers.
There's 10 days and 14 hours left on the Ecto-1, and they have just over 9,000 backers, and they need 12,000. So it'll probably hit. But
John, would you say that those backers are over 9,000?
No, because see, it's the thing you're doing is a Dragon Ball thing, and Dragon Ball, you could do that. But we're talking Hasbro, Sony, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So look at Needles. He mistakenly put 2 D's in his name. He said, fun fact, Dan Larson was a colleague of mine at Microsoft. Was he really?
Well, one of you went on to success. No,
this is Gary Needles Dolan.
I know. I'm
Gary Dolan. I don't co-sign.
He's living the dream of like doing the Bull Airs, which does look like a lot of fun.
Dude, I will say this.
Daily creative looks great. But you really missed out on some good anal ripping on you earlier.
Yeah, Gary, don't go back about 35 minutes. I wouldn't.
Just from here on out, no playback.
I did meet the Sweetie Pie at the Bull Air booth this year, and man, those fucking shoes are choice.
Yeah, that's the danger of like being there in person and realizing that they sell more than just the turtle stuff that gets posted in the group, and then going, "Oh my god, this Akira one."
Dude, did you see the Akira shoes? Oh my god, man!
I know. What I like is the stuff that's not as obvious. All the things that they were making that were like inspired by, you can see the theme is happening in the shoe.
Sure.
That's what I like. I don't want it to be like, not to dunk on those beautiful shoes. Like the turtle ones look great, and there's an audience for that. But I'm the audience that goes, oh, those are in, like, I can see the theme of the thing I love, but it's not yelling, hey,
it's not.
It's more like when people notice it, that's what I would want. I would want somebody to be like, oh, dude, is that like, are those shoes like Akira shoes or something?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that's inspired by whatever.
You want it to be, like subtle and that's what's good about them. Yeah,
the true fans notice it, and you can have a conversation versus just like everybody commenting on it, and you're like, ugh.
Right. What about Denver the Last Dinosaur? He's my friend and a whole lot more.
That was that was a very obvious one on the shoe if you know this what it's from, but if you don't know what it's from, so that's a safe shoe to get.
Okay,
it looked great. The illustration stuff was great, but yeah, the people that would know, oh, that's Denver, where people would be like, oh, is that Littlefoot? You know, or something, and you'd be like, well, fuck out of my face.
I want a Littlefoot shoe.
I know. Yeah, he appreciates us, even though he is, I think. Oh, look, see, he proves that he appreciates us both. He sent it to both of us. $5.
Well,
Thank you.
wait, how do you know he didn't send one of us twice?
Oh, that's true. And maybe he copy pasted into the wrong. Oops, and he goes, oops.
No,
I want my $5. Mad Hatter, $5. I sent you 10, and then he's like, this is what we do. This is a call to callback, where I sent you a gift on accident, but it's supposed to go to somebody else. So I'm going to ask you to return that.
Yes, right.
Tony, thank you to whoever.
Yes, thank you, Tony. Oh, John, let me answer this. Travis McComas with the
when are the
Unboxed? Okay, John, can I design your shoe for you?
My best friend, so be careful.
Okay, but can I here? I'm going to design your shoe. Okay, here's John's shoe. Needles, take note. John's shoe. The what's the thing that goes in the front of the shoelace? The little tongue thing or whatever. That has glasses on it. Okay, so there's glasses right on the front of the shoes. Okay, and then on the side of the shoes, like the little rim where the shoe meets like the bottom of the shoe, there's like a beard outline. There's like a little beard outline that's it's just like that. And on one swoosh, on one side of the swoosh, yuck. On one swoosh, there is a like a dragon. It's like there's a little bit of a Dragon Ball thing that's happening. Okay, but on the other side, there's a ticker with subscriber. There's a subscriber count. And here's the thing, John. There's like an electronic thing in the shoe where the ticker is constantly going up. Like the subscribers are just like ding 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 ding, and there's like a subscribe button on like right next to it. Like there's like a flashing, and you could pull it off like Velcro, like a little subscribe thing. But yeah, there's an electronic feature, and you go, hey, watch this, and you press the button, and the ticker's like ding 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 ding. And that's the Johnny. And because they didn't get your rights, they couldn't secure your rights. They call it like the nostalgia shoe or something like that.
Right. Yeah, nostalgic out of box. I like most of that. The Dragon Ball thing, it's too obvious. You just got to put a censor bar on the other side.
Yeah. Can the censor bar be over boobs? Could there be like boobs, but a censor bar right over it?
Yeah. But then when you remove it, it's not as extreme as it looked. It's like, oh man, you got me. The clickbait.
Dude, I think you got some shoes.
My best friend proved that he's my best friend by spending $9.99 on one of our channels. Again, we don't know who he sent this money to.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if he sent it to me, but he's your best friend?
Yes.
That would be hilarious, Travis. Okay, and don't you want to be hilarious? Don't you want to be known as like I'm a hilarious guy? So I think you know what you got to do.
Yeah, maybe he was paying you for your idea, your vision.
Oh, I like that. These ideas are not free.
Moment to be an Imagineer and being inventive and having an imagination, showing Hasbro it can still be done, and showing Bull Airs and Needles that you got money on the table. Okay, so thank you, Travis. Love you, dude. Appreciate it. Don't ever do that again. When you remove the censor bar, it's Johnny's glasses under it.
I like that. Okay. I like Toy Stalker. Who's that?
How about Mad Hatter shoes? You would remove this, not a censor bar, but you would remove something and it would say House Hatter. So the shoes are called the House Hatters. You remove something. What? It just says...
Well, the insignia on the back
side, you remove the shield badge. No, that's a J. That's Geek Dad Life.
Yeah, that's a Geek Dad Life thing. It'd be all in purple. I don't know why he loves that color. It's like
God, he loves it. And then that teal color, whatever, to go along with it.
My logo Hatter, it would be blurry. It would be like a blurry like logo, but purposely blurry.
Yes.
John, did you just get some fucking email that took you out of the whole moment of I thought you would find that hilarious.
I was imagining how that would be done. It'd have to be like so I apologize. It would be like an airbrush technique. So anywhere that would look like a hard edge, like maybe because of the layers of the vinyl or the leather, it would like cause like a hard edge or something like that. Everything's just airbrushed to be just a little fuzzy, and it's like it's hard to focus on. The shoes just look out of focus. I think would be a masterpiece of art by itself, that you could sell shoes that always look like they're out of focus because of the painting is done. I bet somebody could do that. I guarantee that guy that's at the booth that's painting and has his cutout at the Bolairs, I guarantee he could paint a shoe.
Tom Bullman? Yes.
Yeah. To look like that it's just out of focus. God, that's perfect.
I like it.
The only real issue is the outside line of the shoe where the shoe stops. You'd have to add fuzz to it.
Oh, to add the fuzz. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you'd have to like not really flocking, but something that adds like some kind of fuzz texture. And it's just like here it is. So like, like pillows that aren't made with cotton or whatever, that like nylon or whatever that's inside of a pillow, that kind of like not quite white, it's almost clear. If you get that and you cut it down thin enough and cover the entire shoe with it, that you can still see through the shoe.
Right.
Edges of it are all fuzz. I think that's it.
I like it. I like it, John. Gary, can you fucking get right on that, please?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the final verdict on this NECA stuff? Is there a final verdict?
Final verdict is there a bunch of fuck faces, and by a bunch of, I mean it's probably like one or two people that are the fuck faces.
No, they're corporate. Yes, we'll repeat it again.
Making these corporate decisions.
Yeah, corporate decisions, and whoever's brilliant idea it was to issue a not so subtle threat. By the way, a useless threat, because anybody who gets banned by NECA, I'm sure you have a friend, or I'm sure you have a wife, or I'm sure you have somebody, like, just get them to buy your shit.
It's like, what? So the only things that I'm going to have a challenge with are like San Diego exclusives and a layer here or there. I mean, I know there's like some random stuff that happens that are exclusive things, but yeah, you just get a friend. Hey man, you get to, yeah, no problem. Or just create a new account with somebody else's name, your wife's name, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless they can, who knows? They're not techie enough to be like, it's an IP address thing. Here's the thing. Like, I think everybody in this chat here is a NECA collector. Both of us. You can see it behind you. You can not see it behind me because I have a filter on. But
I see a Jubilee back there.
You see a Jubilee? That's not NECA.
No.
There's a what's his name? Slash right there, and the van behind him.
I can't make that out.
Well, whatever. Just take my word for it. Anyway, we all buy NECA and we love them. Their products and the artists and the sculptors and all this stuff. We are collectors of this crap. But at the end of the day, this is a company that is in the mix. They see the comments because they have social media. They get posts, they get tagged, they get replies. You have people like Gary, who is like basically married to everyone within the company. Him and Randy, I'm pretty sure, do butt stuff. And again, it's not in a judgmental way. That's an okay thing. I'm just saying the odds are pretty high, and that's okay. And I support him for that. But like, you have people in the mix, the knowledge, all the, like, if I was NECA and the amount of like backlash I was getting was about like customer support, not being able to handle things like even shipping costs or whatever, I would be like, this is our 2025 projected plan. Number one is to resolve these issues, because everything else will increase with that. If we have bad customer service at the top, let's solve that problem. Now we have happier customers who are spending more to buy things. We have new customers coming in and buying new things. We have increased our profits by purely fixing our customer service issue. We know it's an issue because it's all over social media. There's people that have made channel dedicated videos about it. We have thread upon thread upon thread of people complaining about it, saying I only buy like one NECA item a year now because it's like, I'm so pissed at the company. And they're in those turtle groups. And you make turtles. People are dedicated turtle fans, and they're pissed about NECA that they're like, I just don't buy their stuff anymore. Right. So fix that. That's the message today. Fix your customer service and you will solve all the other bullshit problems. And when something like today or whatever this week happens where you're like, we need replacement, we need those labs back, people will be like, yeah, we got it. You probably wouldn't even need to offer $100, but that is probably the better thing to do, especially to kind of incentivize people that don't give a shit about people that didn't get their labs.
Yeah, exactly. And to co-sign what you're saying, just to piggyback on that point in customer service.
Yes,
it's clear. So NECA, here's what probably happened. You saved a lot of money all these years by probably not putting any money into customer service and not putting any money into returns, because it was clear, like, you had nobody answering emails yet. So you're like, we're going to save money here and fuck the customer. Now you're paying for that money now. You know what I mean? So just look at it like, eventually when you run a business and you have like a really weak department, sometimes what happens is that catches up to itself. So if you had the money to have good customer service, something, I think it cheaped out on something. And now that money saved, all those years, money saved of like hiring the one dude who probably was part-timing his customer service, now it's caught up. Okay. Yeah. Now that, whatever you saved, or you thought you saved 30,000, 60,000, whatever, now it's going to catch up. And you're just going to have to eat it, because I don't foresee you getting a lot of those labs back. I'm sorry. No, I think
we already know a bunch were resold.
Yeah, a bunch of it's like, go. You know what, NECA, go on eBay and buy them and give them to people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're not. I don't think they're that marked up. Buy them for $400.
Yeah, this is. It's crazy, and just to kind of combat today's awful experience. I don't know, Gregory Stott and his DeLorean. If people don't look at him in real life and go, Greg, stop. Greg, stop. What's the hit? He's from do you know his personal name with his business? Is he somebody behind the thing that I backed?
What, Gregory Stott? I don't know.
He says a ghost of our hippo character floats in front of the words "game over." I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking like, okay, well, hippo characters. There's a hippo action figures that just got made. I backed the elephant. Is this
this almost seems like a Jumanji riddle, like if we don't like we'll get attacked by some kind of like hippo or something, like if we don't like win the game or some shit. Was that what that is? Maybe.
I don't know. I'm sure we'll get an answer here, but I do want to call out Travis's "but stuff is okay if it's in a three-way," which is true.
I mean, it's all okay, right?
He said, "Oh, related to NECA," so I don't know what the hippo is. Anyway, maybe it's a HIPAA violation. A hippo violation.
Are we HIPAA compliant, John?
Yeah, I have the post.
I don't even know what that means. I'm an adult. I don't know what HIPAA compliance means. I fake it, and when people say, you know what, they're not even HIPAA compliant, I'm like, man, that sucks.
So really, I'm like, that type of industry.
Yeah.
So the reverse of the NECA bologna sandwich that is disgusting. And you should learn. This is like, man, I could just talk about this fucking all day. So this is like, imagine being Wendy's or McDonald's or Taco Bell, and you look across the street and Chick-fil-A's like fucking, they have their own like public street lines because the traffic is backed up so much that they have their own routes to get into their business because there's a constant line to get through Chick-fil-A. And people fucking love Chick-fil-A, even if they like are, problematic as a company. People are like, fuck it, the chicken's good, and they go, my pleasure. That model should be like, oh my God, we, Taco Bell, could be more than just a place to get your Mountain Dew or your late night cravings. We could invest money into that experience as a business to where we could charge more and people will be lined up because we're so fucking nice and we just do nice, have a nice experience. You come into the store, you go through the drive-through, and people are so happy to see you. We train these people, and look, the number one thing, if you work here, is that you just got to be nice to people, because then you won't really have problems. And then if you mess something up, they're going to be like, hey, I didn't even want to return it. You guys are just so nice. I was just like, I'm so sorry that I have the wrong thing.
Yeah. When you experience a business that is nice to you, it does go a long way. I think the other thing that businesses have to remember is there's a lot of competition now, even in the turtle space. I'm looking at, dude, I keep looking at those Joy Toy turtles, man. I'm like, I love those things. So to get cocky and be like, can't buy from us, what the fuck's your problem? It's like, it's just like, that was a blind move. Okay, and here's the thing, John. I actually wanted to bring this up, like the Four Horsemen.
Yes. I have that.
Do you have that?
The whole transition here of talking about Chick-fil-A for some reason was that if you are the business that's not performing as well, making as much money, just look at the one that is. And what are they doing differently? Customer service is number one on that list. Obviously, have great food. That should be your standard. You should already have great food. It's too late. But yes, the Four Horsemen, Jada Toys, Mondo, those are three quick, easy examples of people that completely crush it in the customer service realm. We're like, now that's okay that this guy doesn't glow in the dark.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just give some context here. This is a mistake that the Four Horsemen made. They had released a Jacob Marley figure last year. They have a retailer exclusive Jacob Marley that's coming out to retailers that is different. The coloring is different. However, it was supposed to be a glow in the dark figure. Something happened in the factory. It went wrong. It will not be glow in the dark anymore, and they will not come out with a glow in the dark. However, they didn't say, "Hey, if you bought this figure, fuck you. You got to commit." They didn't do any of that. They said, they were very upfront, and they said, "We made this mistake." They say, first off, then they basically said, like, I can't read the thing, but the gist of it is, if you still want it, great. You don't have to do anything. If you don't want it, let your retailer know, I don't want it. And basically, they'll refund you. No harm, no foul. It's still going to be a beautiful figure, as they said, and I believe them because all their figures are beautiful. But they could have gone a very arrogant route. They could have waited till you got it in hand and said, hey, things. You know how they have that little byline where like things might change or like product might vary, this and that, blah blah.
Yeah.
But it was they just chose to be candid, and when you are candid and you are humble and you are gracious to your fan base, things can happen. Okay. They also refund retailers for ordering the figures. So there you go. And we have a retailer right here that can vouch for it. So, by the way, I don't want to blow up certain retailer spots, but there are many retailers that have issues with NECA as well. I have heard horror stories from retail. I'm not going to name them, but from like retailers saying, I am pulling my hair out because I'm not getting NECA products or I cannot reach it. So it's not even just a customer thing. There is an issue with your customer service on all fronts, including the way you communicate to retailers. And you are not a small company, so there's no excuse. But this is an example. This is a W. This is a mistake. Mistakes are made. Okay, I'm not gonna kill them for it. Yeah, it would have been great if there was glow in the dark, but you don't have to buy it. They apologize. They refund you. There's no harm, no foul, and there is no threat saying if you don't keep this, then you're on a shit list. This is the way. This is how you look good in front of adults who, let's face it, are your whole fucking consumer base.
Yeah. Yep. Fuck yeah. And if you go to this post on Instagram, I mean, I could scroll through this. It's kind of a long thing, but they tell you everything you need to know. Like if you want to, like you don't have to do anything if you want it still. You don't care about the glow in the dark thing. You can like go forward as expected. If you don't want it, just let the retailer know, even though the retailers should be sending out emails anyway. And as we know, you can get a refund from your retailer, but that also means you'll get a refund. The retailer will get, as we saw, from 1/6 Shooter and Toy Stalker, that they get taken care of as a retail store, which is great.
Yes. Yeah. NECA is too cool for school, KJ says. Yeah, they're too cool for school, but guess what? We're now in the next grade and there's a bunch of other cool kids here. So we don't need you can't be too cool for school anymore. Okay? Now it's some humility. Okay? I want NECA to succeed. I want them to keep going. I want their products. I love their products, but it is not fun to get dude, there's nothing more terrifying than when you open up a NECA figure and it breaks. You're like, well, I guess I'm kind of, especially if it's not like not one that you got from Target or something like that. If it's like I would get stuff from Frank and Sons, or you go to a retailer. Some retailers don't abide by that. There are some retailers that are not great out there, and if you break your shit, they're like, whatever, you fucking bought it. So it is what it is. That Jacob Marley, by the way, is a beautiful figure. I will still be getting him.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though I'm Jewish, John. Okay. I will get a Christmas Carol story. Okay. It's fine. Just fucking. Can you deal with it? Can you be okay with it?
Whatever, man. I don't want to get canceled.
You better not say shit. I'll fucking cancel.
Happy holidays. Just a reminder as we enter those times when people say happy holidays, they're doing it out of respect for everybody around them. That's usually what it is. They're not trying to be something. They're just like, I don't fucking know. There's like 32 holidays between now and January.
There's a lot of holidays.
There's a lot of holidays. So it's just like that person's just trying to be respectful. Just be cool about it.
But also, I never care when people say Merry Christmas to me. I don't give a fuck.
Most people don't. I don't think.
Yeah. It's like if you're that wound up over any of that, just relax.
Yeah. So anyway, happy Hanukkah.
It's not Hanukkah yet, John. That's hugely.
Well, also, it wouldn't be right to say Merry Christmas.
You just insulted me, bro.
All right, I'll wait until you break out the menorah.
Oh, John, can we have a very special Hanukkah live stream together?
Where you stream for 8 days?
Dude, you would kill yourself after 3 days. No, you have to give me a gift every day for the live stream. Like you have to give me gifts.
Yeah, and then I just get one or whatever you feel like on Christmas.
And then you get one. By the way, anybody that myth, you know what I used to get for Hanukkah? I used to get a dreidel
and like
it'd be like a dreidel one day, a little pad. I remember one day I got a pad, like a writing pad. I was like, okay, I got a pad. You know what I mean? It's like
because you're gonna grow up to be good with money.
Yes,
and you're counting.
Okay,
can I make that joke?
You know what I would love. You know what I would have loved to done to my child is to take back then is if you take a Nintendo game and you smash it into 8 pieces and you give them a piece of Ninja Gaiden like every and then
Gaiden was right.
Was it Gaiden or Gaiden? I always get that wrong.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're like, surprise, you got Ninja Gaiden. And they're like, but this is broken. And like, well, I mean, still eight gifts.
Yeah.
What a dickhead father that would be.
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody out there that did that. So I had a 3DO. You familiar with that?
I am, but
okay. It was not a lot of people had it, but because my dad had pawn shops, we happened to have one for a little bit. This is after the divorce. But he had it at my I guess my stepmom's house, and I would play it. But there was Afraid of the Dark was one of the games that came out for it. Groundbreaking of its time, but it was like Alone in the Dark. Yes, and it was like a scary game. It wasn't even scary back then, but I played it a few times. My dad watched a couple times when I was playing it, and one day I come back and I'm going to stay the weekend there, and I'm like, "Where's that game?" And he broke it and threw it away because he thought it had like a bad message or whatever. And I'm like, "What the fuck? This is coming from a guy that cheated on my mom, that would go to strip clubs and take our Bouvier de Flanders. Those are dogs, okay?" He would take his dogs to like the bar, or the strip clubs or whatever, and just like come home after midnight, and like a real piece of shit man who smokes and drinks. You
take dogs to a strip club?
Yeah, or at least the bars. I don't know.
You could do that.
But then, like you break that game. He also, when we were younger, broke, and this is it's still a wild choice because this is still the same guy. but broke the record of Steve Martin's record, because my brother would listen to it.
Like his LP. Like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Broke it because of the language and stuff in there. I'm like, of Steve Martin?
Was he like a super religious guy?
No. That's what I'm saying. Remember all the things I just talked about?
No, but sometimes
he's like scum of the earth guy that like only went to church because my mom would make him.
Sorry, like I meant like there's like sometimes like hypocritical religious guy.
That's
you know,
true.
like it's like
Right.
I'm religious, and then like if you watch like Mighty Gemstones, like those guys are all like pieces of shit, but they're like the face of like religion and stuff like that.
Baby
So
Billy.
that's wild.
Uncle Baby Billy's Bible bunkers.
Yeah. I'm glad you like that show.
Fucking love that show.
Dude, that game scared me though, man. Like Alone in the Dark scared me. Maybe I'm like a pussy, or maybe I was a pussy when I was a kid. But like Alone in the Dark scared me.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it was less scary to me than the Resident Evil game, which I played prior to that. Resident Evil 1 was fucking scary.
You must have played it after the fact, because Alone in the Dark was the predecessor to Resident Evil. Resident Evil copied the format of Alone in the Dark. They improved it, but that whole thing where it's like it's fixed camera and you're a 3D character walking into a fixed camera horror scenario was created in Alone in the Dark, and then Resident Evil, when that first game came out, basically perfected that, and that game was scary as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's probably why then. I mean, it was definitely an after the fact thing for me. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Those are good games.
Welcome to Toy Therapy. Welcome to Toy Therapy. On today's episodes, we're talking about our dads. Now,
it was almost like a Hank Hill, but then it turned into.
I'm trying to be what's his?
You do a good Hank Hill, I think, right?
What the hell?
Oh man, it's great. John's. If people don't know, Johnny is an expert impressionist. Okay, just his impression of me is not that great, but you know, it's a little over the top. Let's face it. But your impressions, for the most part, are stellar impressions. If there's anybody from Netflix in this chat, maybe hook it up, right?
Maybe I do need to put a voice reel together still.
You should put a voice reel.
God, it can't just be impressions. They're going to be like, I mean, sometimes we want a guy that sounds like that guy.
No, it can't be
a lot of original characters.
You're going to be in my Flipboard pilot.
Oh, good.
As somebody cool.
Thank you.
Okay. But it can't be an Indian character.
That's a no-no.
No. Okay.
But I could do this is the guy from Johnny Five.
Yeah, you can say this is an impression of the guy from Johnny Five, who is a white guy. Way it's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. I think that's all right. I mean, there are impressionists that do black people, right? So we have like white comedians or impressionists that will do like, if I did a Morgan Freeman, no one would be like, you can't do that, right?
No, I Morgan Freeman. You just do.
Well, no one will be offended by that.
This is
we don't know what that was.
My Morgan Freeman impression. Jonathan.
Oh God!
John, you know what my impression of you is?
What's that?
You're a good guy.
That's the impression that I give you. Okay, well, I like that.
That's fine.
Well, the truth will come out one day when we meet up for San Diego. Comic-Con.
That's true.
The Comic-Cons. So my stepdad was slowly throwing my toys away. Is this KJ the 5 one? Is this did you just change your name to KJ, by the way?
KJ, you better not be pulling some shit, buddy. Okay, we will ban you.
Are you somebody different, or are you the same person that I know?
Yeah. You know what? If you piss off Jonathan, he will ban you from the Ko-fi store. Okay,
maybe.
Do not piss him off.
I could. There's potential to do. What's the keyword? Hold on. There's a keyword here.
Yeah, what's the keyword?
May result in limited opportunities to
may
buy.
Result exactly.
So now, sometimes I'll let you buy, maybe. Sometimes I won't.
Yeah. So the way NECA deals with it is they go like this. They go, "Hey guys, how's fourth quarter doing?" And they look and they go, "Ooh, yeah, like let's not ban them for fourth quarter, but I think the next quarter might be maybe we'll be a little more fruitful, and then we can ban those people. Okay,
that's right.
By the way, it's like if those are people that bought the lab, because I think only people that bought the lab got a free lab.
I believe so.
Yeah, so you're threatening to ban your most cha-ching high rolling.
There's only like less than 3,000 of those people.
Do you want to go down this route?
That just means the kitchen's going to have less.
Yes,
because even though the people wanted to buy more people wanted to buy, but the numbers for the kitchen will be lower because they may not have been allowed to buy it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I wish I could have bought a kitchen, but I might be banned. I love it, John. I love the toy game. I love this fucking industry, man. I breathe it in.
Positive customer service experiences. Even I've had issues with Super 7 back when I would like actually buy their stuff. Their customer support was mostly great. Moe's apron was a little chaotic because they were like, no, the retailer's just supposed to send it. And I'm like, but you already told me you were going to send me one. So, but other than that, they like completely replaced Robin. Because of his whatever. I won't get into that. But their support was always great, and it was always signed off by like one person, and it's been so long I've forgotten who that person was. And I'm like, there's no way one person is actually handling all this.
Yeah, there's a guy that I always talk to.
It's just a generic sign off name. I used to think it's the same guy, but they would never answer that. It's just always really you. They would never answer that. Anyway, we'll put them up as like, even though they have consistent issues with their products, they get the thumbs up bubble.
Hey, how come I don't get a bubble when I do that?
Because that's Apple devices are doing it, regardless of the camera. It's an Apple thing. And then Jada Toys. I've not had to, but I know you personally had an issue with Fei Long, I think, and they were like, here's an immediate replacement.
Oh, dude. Jada Toys, sent me like an immediate, and I had a big thing with my Mega Man had like this horrible
paint that's what it was. Yeah.
Thing. And they just sent me a whole they could have sent me a head. They just sent me a whole new Mega Man.
And this for the people that are like, it is normal for the retailer or for the creator, the company, to say, no, you need to return that to the retail location, because there's been a lot of comments about NECA and like, nope, you have to return it to Target. Nope, you have to return it to Walmart, which it's kind of 50-50 whether they tell you that or not. And I've had NECA handle the issue for people and then tell me to return it to a store and vice versa for the same figure. But Jada, you bought yours from wherever, Toy Stalker or something, and they were like, oh, it's our product, we will handle that problem, and Jada replaced it. They didn't tell you to return it to wherever you got it, which is great.
John, by the way, just real quick,
same thing with Super 7. I will say that they replaced an item that was not bought through them. Go ahead.
No, somebody just made me aware of this. Is like, the chats. There's something with this fucking stream where the chats, because I just, to verify, went to like YouTube just to see if the chats that we have line up with the chats that are here, and there's a lot of chats that at least like I'm missing. So we don't want anybody to feel like they're being ignored or this and that. But like I'm seeing like the last chat I see when I go to YouTube is not what's there. I'm seeing like none of that. So I don't know.
Well, there's also the chat that's coming to me versus your channel. If somebody's on your live stream chatting, they're not going to see it on my channel.
Oh, I can't even see them? No, but that's
you can see that here. You can see both channels. The comments are from both channels here. But if you go to your YouTube channel and you're like, oh, I don't.
No. What I'm saying is I'm seeing less here.
Oh,
like on this EV thing, I'm seeing less chats here than when I go to our chat.
Weird.
So there's something.
Well, just to let everybody know, that I think this is going to be the last time we use this one, because it, like I said at the beginning, the top of the show, it takes too much work to set up. Every live stream, you have to like go back in and add all the crap from the like. I hate it.
Yeah. So look, like Devin Decker said, when I go to my YouTube, I see, he says, "What's the last message you see on EB?" The last thing I see is KJ saying, "No, always been KJ," which is like forever ago. And because I was looking, I was like, how Like nobody has an opinion on this. This doesn't make any sense, you know? Or like, did Johnny say something so egregious that everybody just left, which obviously is possible?
Well, whenever I said that, I said the word problematic, which apparently some people really don't like that word, which is problematic.
Which is problematic. So I was like, did you piss off? You know, Johnny knows how to piss people off.
Yeah, I said some bad thing about how great Chick-fil-A was.
Right. No, there's look, even Needles just said something, and it doesn't show up only if you highlight it.
Needles, do you use the free version, or you got baller? Are you a baller?
Fuck, man.
With $50 a month, do you pay $50 a month for that stupid shit? That's what you used to use. But then they were like, $25. You like that? How about 50 every month? And I said, fuck you guys. Is there an emoji for that that pops up on the screen? No.
What if NECA pays for his StreamYard?
Oh, probably. That's why he never says anything bad about him. I mean, I'm not going to say, but it's possible. It's possible that, like, if Needles ever said anything bad about something or somebody that, like, he's so, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
I will not let you besmirch
his butt.
The good name of Needles, aka Gary Dolan, my friend,
who likes 2 Ds. It's in his name.
He does like 2 Ds. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so guys, there's fuck, man. There's chats that are. I'm trying to go back to the other chats, so John, I can't see you, but like, yeah, there's.
Well, look, we weren't going to read them anyway, folks, unless you paid for it.
Too Much Toy said, if you, I only know on the other chat, Too Much New Toys is here. You say, if you threaten to cancel StreamYard, they will give you a discount.
Oh.
Yes,
well,
then
except for I did cancel and they didn't care. It's not like Adobe where it's like $85 a month or whatever, and you go through like 10... No, I want to cancel screens. They're like, how about $10 off? Or, okay, how about this? And your final option, they're like, all right, we'll offer it to you for 50% off for 6 months. And you're like, okay, that's what I was looking for.
I like how you say cancel. You say cancel. You say your cancel. It's almost like CYAN. It's like cancel. CYANCL. Cancel. Like it's can, and then you zip it up. It's like cancel. Like I like your accent, John.
Well, I didn't get it. Well, there you go. I don't know.
All right. Apologies to people that.
That's me. He's talking about me. I do this.
Customer service recognizing a customer made more than one purchase and on their own combining the shipping and refunding difference. Thank you, Mr. Nostalgia.
I also, with European, well, anybody outside the U.S. How about that? Anybody outside the U.S., if you pay for the shipping and then I go through and I buy the label and then there's like a big price difference, I refund that. Now, I did just ship something to the UK and I had to pay 99 cents more than they paid, but I was like, whatever. I just did it. But yeah, there's been quite a few times in the last like few months that Pirate Ship has made the shipping way cheaper. So yeah,
I like Christopher's avatar. It's very professional. It's almost like it's like a real estate agent. It's like, come to me for real estate advice. I'm Christopher Sloss. You know what I mean? It's very very professional.
Get lost in the sloss.
That's a good dude. This guy's giving you free business advice, Christopher.
Hold the sloss.
All right.
Sloss. There's so many good things here.
Yeah, there's
have to run with sloss, obviously.
Don't take a loss when you go with sloss.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't have a loss without sloss.
Oh. What was that one?
I said you can't have a loss without sloss. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the greatest.
The loss in the sloss. Oh no. This is bad business. Yeah. So don't.
Okay. John, I got to wrap up because I got to go to work. Okay. Because I got to make money to pay for all these toys and to also pay. Because if I can't pay for these toys, that means I got to flip the extra Donatello lab that they sent. Oh, God.
Oops. Now people know. Flipper Frank's eBay account has like 3 of them. I saw.
Dude, I would love to have gotten one. Again, I not only because I can just be like, oh, you want this now, and then I like just to feel that feeling of just like how you had mentioned, like, okay, well, here's a few things that I've been waiting for, and if you can get them to me, in a timely manner, then you'll get your, like, oh my
Yeah.
god, to play hostage with that would be an amazing karmatic. Is karmatic a word? Karmatic, it is a word now. Karmatic experience.
Yeah. All words are made up, so that's okay if you make up a new one.
Yes.
And it's on the internet now, so it lives. It survived. The word is a thing, karmatic.
It
So
lives.
yes, don't return it without getting whatever item they owe you. Even at that point, it'd be like, and I don't care about the $100. Just give me what I want.
That's what I would do. Fair game, right? You paid for
Yeah.
it. You waited. They have access to it. They come on. If you're waiting for first turtles, they can get you those first turtles. Okay, just stop. All
Yeah.
right. And if you can't, then
It
you
just
fucked
makes
up
me
your own.
believe that those turtles went to somebody else then, because they were supposed to. The delayed orders were going to get shipped out in September.
Yeah.
And I emailed them in October 2nd or something on the live stream or right after. And I thought they were going to handle it, and then they just stopped replying. So yes, I'm sure somebody else just has my turtles.
Somebody has your turtles, John. But you know what? Maybe if they threaten that person can then put the turtles back in a box, send it to you, and then you can get turtles that have been in somebody's ass.
Oh, so Gary had them. So the thing is, again, there's no judgment there. But like the odds are, I'm going to open them up and
Gary,
go,
here's some advice. If I had to choose between which turtle to put in my ass, I would definitely go layered. Okay, you don't want to put that Kevin Eastman one in your ass. It's got all the points. It's so thick. Unless that's kind of like your thing. Unless your ass has elasticity in that way, I will say personally for my ass, it'd be very hard. I would go layered, and I would probably go head first because you don't want the legs in because they're sharp. The legs are pretty fucking sharp. So just my advice, Gary.
Yeah, work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The moral of the story: have good customer service. Take care of your people. Take care of your employees. Hasbro. Let people be imaginative.
Yes.
Oh God.
I like that.
How somehow after everything you just said, what he said is more disgusting.
Ew, internal juicing. You went too far.
Yeah.
You went too far. We were playing around, but you had to say that, and now you just fucking alienated the whole room.
Anyway, look, Jonathan. Gary, send them this live stream. There's a lot of lessons here for them. They need to go into it open-minded, but it doesn't sound like they are. Whoever's making these decisions on that company behalf, I don't like, just fucking forget about the email that you just sent out. Forget about that one line that should have just been removed because it's already a gamble trying to get people to return it. And just say, look, like there's a lot of good points here. I think so. That just look at the customers that are, or the businesses that are offering good customer service and see what comes of that.
Right.
And listen to your audience. There's a lot of people. And yes, there are cases where it's sometimes the loudest ones that, sound like the problem is there. But there's a lot of, like, I'm not really that vocal about it. I don't get into the chat. I don't make posts in the groups and like, oh, screw NECA. I don't really do that. But I do reply to comments and I'm like, yeah, I'm still waiting on my sketch shows. We do a live stream about it. I guess that's kind of loud. But there are a lot of things were said here. And I think a lot of really fair and reasonable things.
It is all fair. And this is just good therapy, I think. Just it's part of the reason why we like doing these live streams. It's good therapy. It's fun to talk about. Let's face it, it's a controversial topic, but it's also good therapy for all of us. Because at the end of the day, it's like toys, right? But it's like,
it's money. That's the issue. It doesn't matter what you're spending the money on. When you mess with people's money, that's where the problem. Like if you're a business or a manager or something like that, and you don't give your employees their money, their commissions messed up, that's when you really, really piss people off. If you've never worked in a place where there's commission and somebody's check doesn't have the right amount on there, that's when you see people fucking turn. Your best employee will fucking turn on a dime.
You don't mess with people's money. People work real hard, and yeah. So that's I think that's all. I would say that if you are going to put figures in your ass, just as a tip, you should probably collect something like G.I. Joe Classified. So figures that are like thin for the most part. Don't get into like Mondo for sure. Don't get into like NECA stuff. I would, either stay like Vala or G.I. Joe Classified or that new monster.
We gotta be brand fair. You said no Mondo, but they are getting into the 6-inch line, and those are very smooth looking. I think I don't want to remove brands from that option.
I mean, yeah, they are getting into a 6-inch line, but that's an expensive figure to put in your ass.
Hey,
I wouldn't feel so guilty because you pay $20, $25 for G.I. Joe Classified. But
if you're like really wealthy and kind of hoity-toity, wouldn't you you'd be like, why would I? Yeah, I'm going to spend nice money on things.
No, you're right. I think this is a great way to this is a great thing to talk about it. I mean, that might be the subject of a future.
Yeah, but this is all, again, this is also like secondhand information that we're sharing. Like, if you want this information, just go directly to the source, Needles.
Right? John, you're a bully.
No. There's
certain. Can we all agree, chat? Can we agree that John is a bully?
No, there are certain things that people are very open about. And why try to get like some fake source? You can go to Needles for putting action figures in buttons. Again, no judgment. We go to you for IBS. Yeah, it's just a thing we suffer from.
Okay, can we acknowledge that this is the best toy live stream? Can we fucking acknowledge? Where else do you think when you go to like the Fwoosh or something that you get people putting toys in their asses, or you get, dude, 2 weeks ago Johnny got roasted in real time by a bunch of people, and we had an intervention. You think you're going to get that in another time? Every other one is like, oh, the articulation.
Well, I did say
you're not going to get it.
I said Chick-fil-A was problematic, and that really turned a lot of people off. So I think that it was like, we were really good channel. But then I used 2 words together, and people were like, I'm fucking out of here, man.
Yeah, well, but then we also talked about putting figures in your ass, like, so that doesn't offend people. That's got to offend you, right? Look, I think at the end of the day, guys, this is a hangout. This is like a bar. We're all friends here, but every now and then there's a friend at the end of the bar, and he says something, and you go, hey, fuck you, man, and then you guys argue, and you what? But here's the thing: you don't leave the bar. You just stay at the bar and you have the argument, okay? Because guess what? We're all friends and it's fun, and we're putting figures in our ass probably every fucking weekend, let's face it. What an amazing time to be alive, all right? So that's it. That's all I wanted to say, okay? Figures in the ass. NECA, fix up your customer service. 4 Horsemen, doing great things. Johnny, like my penguin impression. Not too sure we can do a Fisher Stevens doing an Indian guy impression. We don't want to get canceled, okay? But that's a talk for another day.
Yeah, that was perfectly summed up. It took me like 30 minutes to sum up earlier, and then I got real sidetracked. I
don't like how when you do the thumb up, it always happens, and when I do it, it doesn't fucking happen.
Because Apple. Get an Apple product.
Yeah, I should. John, before we go, there's one more thing I want to say.
Yeah, what's that?
My father, I don't think, loved me when I was a kid.
Oh.
And he said some pivotal words to me that I'll never forget. And please, God, I hope the chat knows this. And I hear, because I'm finally able to open up. Dude, you